All right, we are back with episode number 9. Summer is kicking off. I'm feeling some of the heat here in Northern California. How about you, Ray?
Same here. I believe it's 29 Celsius today at the highest, so
Okay,
that's about
you
88
gotta you gotta
at the
switch
high in
you gotta
Fahrenheit.
switch it over. This is United States. This is not
Doesn't
Celsius.
matter. People should
Is
also
it?
learn Celsius too.
No, I mean you're gonna talk to people in the U.S. You talk Fahrenheit because that's what the weather
I always
is.
convert it for them for their sake.
No, I mean you can convert it, but it doesn't make sense if you're in America, you go with what everybody uses. You don't say,
Tell
"Oh,
that to the scientists.
a Celsius," and then you're going to convert it. I mean, if you go to a metric centric country, then yeah, you can go ahead and say Celsius all you want, and that's what I would do. But we don't live in a metric system.
Well, scientists here understand Celsius just fine.
Yeah, because they're scientists. You're not a scientist. I mean,
Nope, but
you trying to.
Celsius makes more sense than Fahrenheit.
I mean, it does. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. I mean, it's just a factor of 10. I understand that the
I
math
mean,
behind
can you
it.
tell the difference between 84 and 87?
Yeah, I could tell a difference.
I can't.
Well, that's because you're not sensitive enough. I mean, it's you just got. I understand the math behind it, but you don't go you don't go to China speaking English. You go to China, you speak Chinese, or you go
I mean, I'll still speak English when I'm there because that's the
because
only way
you,
I can
you
communicate with
because you
folks.
suck at Chinese.
I don't speak Mandarin or Chinese.
Oh. But that's what you gotta learn. If you're gonna live there, that you can go ahead and adopt whatever the local thing.
Like with Geico, you don't have an assigned agent.
Well, if you sign up with Allstate today, you have a quote. I mean, you don't have an agent anymore, but if you need to talk to somebody, you can. Your quote unquote agent or your representative. But yeah, you don't talk to agents. You just
Yeah. So
you
my
deal
wife
with.
is on her State Farm app, and she doesn't have like a cancel policy button like we do in Geico.
Okay,
Instead, she needs to call her agent or reach out to her agent to cancel.
I see. I mean, you guys should have been on the same insurance plan. I don't know about your sister-in-law. That's a little of a bit
Well,
of a
that's because
stretch.
my wife should also drive her car too.
Oh, I see. I see. I mean, that makes a little sense. But I tell you, I mean, Geico. I mean, it's fine as long as you just, all the insurance they're pretty much like pretty pretty close. A couple of them are a bit more expensive based on um. They're all pretty close, but the
Well,
ones that tend to be a little bit more expensive is because they got a lot of claims that end up hitting them. So then they raise the prices. But
well, on my wife's car, I cut her rate by over 50%.
well, yeah, because you guys are married.
Well, that's also because she was part of the family plan, and
Yeah.
for whatever reason, it might have been related to someone else in that plan. Like her car rate was like almost the same as my car,
Yeah, so
which doesn't make sense.
so that's why when you're married, that's one of the benefits is you start putting each other on the same insurance and all that stuff, so you can get better rates as long as you all drive pretty like you're not bad drivers.
Yeah, well, her rate went up like $300 in that one plan because of someone else in the family plan.
Yep, exactly. That
So I'm like,
happens. If someone gets an accident, if you get an accident and you're at fault, it's gonna go up regardless.
yeah,
Like,
so I had to make sure they
yeah.
switch over to at least find different insurance, save some money.
Yeah, you don't want to be. It's like you don't want to
It,
be dragged down by the other people in your
it
group.
doesn't make sense for a old RAV4 to cost nearly the same as my BMW insurance.
Well, it can if you're a
It
bad
shouldn't make
driver.
sense.
No,
Well,
if you're a bad driver, it will. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what car you drive. If you crash it into other people, your insurance
well,
still
if
has to pay.
my wife never done anything because she barely drives, then she's paying all that money for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean that's yes, yeah. If you barely drive, you shouldn't, and you have a clean record, you should get a pretty
Yeah,
good rate.
exactly. So I'm like, why the heck is she paying like this much money?
Oh, that's when you know somebody
So
somebody
that's
did
why
something.
I had to take control or like help manage that.
Yeah.
Because for my wife and her sister, they've never really had anyone explain how the insurance stuff worked to them. They kind of just pay their aunt before, and that was it. They
Yeah.
didn't know. They weren't given a rundown of what the policies do and what the coverages actually cover and how to utilize it.
Oh, welcome to adulting. That's part of being an adult.
Yeah, so I had to run it down with them and show them like this is what comprehensive and collisions are, and this is what a full coverage plan is, and why we have this limit,
What limit are you talking about?
like the 100, 300 for like bodily injury, which is pretty standard for most
Yeah,
plans.
yeah. That's the standard state requirement.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I mean, the only difference is you either go liability or you go full comprehensive. That's pretty much it. Depending on, the driver. I like the RAV4. I would just go liability. I wouldn't even like. That's it. I go liability, and then the other party, I wouldn't get like full comprehensive coverage on the old car like that because it's not worth.
Well,
It's not
thankfully, it's
worth-
not even that much, but I do want to make sure
Yeah.
they're at least safe and covered. Because
Yeah,
I was just at least
the safe part. Yeah, the covered is different. That's you can make sure they're covered.
because I pretty much mirrored their plan they had before. Just I reduced the deductible because their old plan was $1,000 for deductible. Now it's 500.
I mean, I would keep 1,000. Honestly, I
It
wouldn't.
wasn't that much of a saving between 500 and 1,000.
Well,
Maybe
for a
like
RAV4 probably
for both their cars, it was probably like $80 at most.
both their cars. Yeah, I mean that's the one that's the deductible. It's usually
So like
I-
500. I'd rather have them pay 500 out of pocket than 1,000 if something happens.
Well, I mean, no. You gotta think about it like this. For a what is that, like a 15-year-old car,
10.
right? 10-year-old car, yeah. I would go $1,000 deductible and put $1,000 easily. Just keep it in the bank, let it sit there in the savings account. 500 is when you're like, I would say the first 5 years of a new car, first 5 years of a car, a new car. Where 500 is like, because you just know new cars are expensive, but old cars, a lot of times, just like my old BMW was worth less than the deductible, and it was just like,
Thankfully, their car is not worth less than a deductible.
well, I mean, you just have to make sure you're, I mean, it's a Toyota, it's generally holds its value. I mean, people will drive those things no matter how old they are, just because they just want a reliable car to drive, and that's why I went the Toyota Lexus route, because it's just, I just know I can trust it, especially with all the places I want to go and what I want to use the car for. That's why, I mean, right now you can enjoy your BMW, but in 10, 15 years. I hope it lasts 15 years for you.
I'm hoping for 10. I'll be glad for 10. Which it should hit 10 based off all the stuff I read about current gen BMWs.
Yeah, they're much better. They're much better built. I think it's
Much more reliable. The engine's way more reliable. Perhaps BMW's most reliable engine.
Well, the engine is, but I think it's your battery. That's the only thing.
The thing with my car, remember, it's a zero transmission EV, so it has 15 years of warranty for all its hybrid parts.
Well,
in California, or like
15
zero
years?
carb states. Yeah,
I've never heard about that. Did they advertise that when they sell it, or
it's
what?
in the manual.
Oh, I mean, that's nice if it's a 15-year.
Yeah, it's in any carb state. If you buy the car from the carb state, or
Wow,
if it
that-
was like shipped to the carb state during like the build.
Man, I hope that'll cover you if something happens. I mean, it's like, was it plug-in hybrid? Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's like one of those hidden warranties that people don't really know about unless they do research.
well, I don't
Because
know if it's
the
hidden.
salesman
I
won't
mean,
tell you about it.
I mean, I don't know if it's like really that hidden, because I think they want people to be confident in the plug-in hybrid, so they do tell you what's covered.
Like salesmen will just tell you the standard stuff for BMW or like whatever dealership covers and the manufacturer, but they won't tell you about the specific carb rules for states.
Oh man, I'm very curious. Let's see. 15-year
Cheesy
warrant.
EV.
Let's see. However, under man, you must survive a 15 on high voltage batteries. But if the blah blah blah, if you purchase all illegal require 15 years. How many years are you in the car?
3.
Oh, 3. Yeah, you
Yeah, so
still.
I'm good until 2038.
Yeah, 2038. You seem pretty good. Yeah, but I wouldn't have gotten a BMW.
That's you.
That's it. When
I
you're
love my
40.
car though.
When you're 40, you'll probably think otherwise.
I mean, I love my
Like,
car. It's
when you're 40. Well, yeah, I mean, you bought it. You better love it. I mean,
I'm not buying a car otherwise. I'm not.
You know, it's like you bought it. You gotta love it. If you bought it and
Yeah.
you hate it, I mean, that's regret right there.
I know. I will say during the car purchase area, I was kind of scared to buy it. Because, one, it's the first time I ever bought a car on my own without, like, you or dad. Or, I guess, without dad. And then, two,
Okay.
like, I know you're prejudiced against BMW, so I had that in my mind. I was scared to tell you about buying a car or buying a BMW specifically.
No, I mean I used to drive a BMW. It's just I told you, you better not be financing that piece of crap. That's all. I mean, if you're financing right now, I punch you in the face. You should just ask to borrow money from family
I know,
instead of
I'm not.
financing.
But, like, I was also scared about that aspect, too.
Yeah, it's like you can make your own decisions. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, and that's the thing. I mean, you pick one of the most. I think it's discontinued. I don't think they even make a X5 plug-in hybrid anymore.
Yeah, they do.
I think they. No. I think they discontinued.
No, they
it
didn't. They still
to
make it.
the what is it? The electric, fully electric.
No, they're still making the plug-in hybrid.
Still the same X5. They're still
Yeah.
making a plug-in version of that.
Yep.
That seems.
They
really,
just did a
really-
refresh from 24 to 26, and now they're unveiling a all new refresh 27 model.
Oh, I get what you're saying. It's just a drivetrain thing. It's not like I'm talking about like a pure model, like their fully electric lineup.
No, they have a different thing for that. With the new 27 models.
Yeah, the I models that are all
That one's all electric.
Those are all electric. This is just it's just a drivetrain, so that's a little different. Yeah, that's easy for them to do. That's just like popping in a drivetrain.
Yeah.
That's not like a pure like a Prius where you
No.
only get
But all
um.
their engines are mild hybrids anyway.
What do you mean they're all mild hybrids?
Like all their gas engines for any of their current cars, minus I guess like the souped up sports cars, or like mild hybrids. They all have like a little bit of a electric drivetrain in them.
I don't know how you would define mild hybrid.
That's
It's
like your
either
car.
you're a hybrid or not.
That's how they display it in the what you call it, the sales sheet or whatever. They display like all the parts, packages, and everything, and it'll tell you like what the engine is, and it'll say mild hybrid.
I don't know. I have to look into. I don't keep up with BMW anymore because they're overpriced cars.
Like my friend, her aunt just bought a new Mercedes, and it's a mild hybrid.
I mean, that's Mercedes. I don't know what drivetrain that is where they would call themselves mild hybrid.
Yeah, that's
I
how they
mean-
get the cars to be this efficient nowadays with gas.
No, they use turbo engines, not with mild hybrids. They're either a
It's-
hybrid or not.
It's
like,
mild hybrid.
What the hell is a mild hybrid? Now it's like hella confusing. I mean, like, I guess you could call it a mild hybrid, but it's just really strange. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, there's all these terms in the car industry.
I wouldn't even call it mild hybrid unless it's
Well, that's what they call it
it's
officially.
like- if it's a hybrid. Because I looked at all the BMWs. Because if you're gonna call yourself a hybrid, you better get gas mileage like a hybrid. If you don't get gas mileage like a hybrid, then you're just using the battery as part of your drivetrain to for example, just to get the car going, but you're not actually able to drive purely on electricity, versus hybrids can do that. So it's a very
Yeah,
interesting.
check it out.
I mean, I know what the feature is. It's just not like BMW never calls any of their cars mild hybrid on any
They do now.
like
I've seen them do it for
they.
like.
I mean, I would say that was like a marketing term because unless you can drive purely on EV mode or something, like your car, where it is hybrid, it can function as an electric vehicle. It seems like just a marketing term.
Well, that's how they do it, and that's how some of their cars achieve like over 600 miles on the tank.
What car? What car on BMW that's
so
gas powered that would
I-
achieve 600 in a tank? That's no way. No way.
I loaned, or yeah, I got a loaner. It was an X5 year 26.
Yeah, that's your plug-in
X40.
hybrid.
No, X40i.
So that's That's an electric car. Their I is electric.
No,
cars.
X40i is not fully electric.
No,
it's a mild hybrid.
No, if it has an.
No, it's not an iX. It's still an X5 X-Drive 40i.
Okay, it can't possibly be at 600 to.
It was. I drove that car.
Unless
I
its
drove
tank
it-
is huge. Okay, what
It
is
had
the model?
21 gallon in that tank.
Dude, that's a huge tank. That's
But
a
if you-
huge tank.
If you look at their current 3 Series, they also achieve 600 miles.
Okay, let's look. I can't imagine. No way. 600 miles. No way. I would have bought a BMW if it could do 600 miles
Look
on the
it up.
tank. No way.
3 Series.
Their 3 Series gas power cars cannot go 300 miles or 600 miles. They get 28.35 a tank, 28.35 a gallon. How would you get 600? Do the math. Do the
see.
math. That's like, how would you fit? They only put 15 to 17. 15 to 17 in one of those sedans. They don't put like a. I mean, you can get 600 if you have like a 20
Yep, you can.
plus gallon, a 20 gallon plus tank.
Just drive between 60 and 70 and you're fine on a 3 Series.
Oh my god! I mean, that's not. That's what the heck.
And you
that
get about
is-
40 miles a gallon from that.
That is not. They don't even put 40. What are you talking about? It says 28 to
I'm
35.
Googling this right now.
28 to 35. 28 to 35.
I literally just Googled
How
this.
do you say 40? Where are you seeing 40 to a what are you reading?
Here. This is on Bimmer Post.
No, just go to their website. Just go to their website. Don't go to
But this
Beamer
is real
Post or
data.
something. No. Go to what they advertise. Real data. That's just people submitting their stuff. Just go to what
It's a
they
screenshot
advertise.
of their dashboard.
No, I don't want that. Just go to their advertising material because that's where you took the car. I mean, you were like the king of generalization today, just making stuff up here and there. 40 miles to a gallon on a BMW 3
Yep,
Series
so
sedan.
330i sedan, rear-wheel drive, 25 city, 34 highway, 20
Exactly.
combined.
25, 30. How do you go to 40? How do you go to 40? Where does the
Because
where are you coming up
real-world
with that?
tests shows it can surpass that.
Yeah, everyone can do that.
And
if you
I've done
drive
that on
in
my
the-
BMW too when they advertised 30 miles of electric, but I've gotten 40.
Yeah, okay, that's different. That's electric. They don't even tell you. Oh my gosh, how do you say 40 miles to a gallon?
Because real-world test results are different than EPA.
No. I mean, this is their real world. They tell you city, freeway. You can't read off of someone saying they do 40, and they don't tell you what conditions are 40. I mean, yeah, you can probably get 40 if you're on the freeway, and you're like, all right, just measure it from now. I'm on the freeway now.
The car measures it for you.
No, you can't use that average. You can't count on someone's one example when
Multiple.
if
Customers.
BMW could advertise it could do 40 miles to a gallon, you'd think they wouldn't do that? They would have done that like right off the bat. That's why it's not. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, everybody knows pure gas cars can't very rarely hit 40, just like a BMW premium. And keep in mind, you're paying premium fuel.
Yeah.
You're not paying regular fuel. So it's not known to get good mileage. It's known to run.
It's gonna vary up to the people driving, but this is their average from
It's not
BMW's
40.
official.
No,
No, not the 40, but like people driving it can get it.
No,
up to
no,
40.
don't take that. Don't take that. 'Cause that's just internet people saying whatever they say
It's
on the
not
internet.
untrue.
No, it's not. Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's true. If it was
But
true,
it's
BMW
possible.
would
That means it's
advertise it.
possible.
No, you can't do it like that. You can't, because then you could say you're just buying a car. The factory, the people who made the car, the government who measure the miles, they have consistent tests, criteria.
I get that, but
They
then
use
real
the
world
same.
test shows
No, they
different
use the
once you get it in
same
your hand.
standard. The EPA gives you a same standard. Yeah, there's going to be some exceptions and stuff, but when you advertise and you market, you don't market those results that are biased towards the high end. You're going to advertise what the government EPA set.
I mean,
And
yeah,
that's,
for
that's what
advertising,
you
yes.
go by. You don't go by, oh, my experience
No,
is
but
I
when you're
can do
doing
this.
research on a car, you're generally looking at everything you possibly can, the highs, the lows.
No, I mean, you just...
You're not just looking at the government
you
stuff
don't
and
go-
what they
no,
market, but you also look at
that's the
user tests.
standardized. That's standardized, though. How else are you going to compare everybody in the industry if you don't use a standardized model?
It's standardized, yes, but then every car is not built the same when people drive it. Or
No.
People drive it differently.
No, it's not about that. That's why they have city. That's why they have freeway. So you can't take someone's personal experience and apply it to yourself and think, oh, this is the high benchmark. Because that's just not.
No,
I
but
mean,
like
just use
it's a
the
possibility
standard.
that you know that car can hit.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I
So,
don't
like-
know how I'm like you. You must have not learned critical thinking theory.
No, if you base everything based off the government tests and everything, you only get those. But if you see real life tests from people actually driving it, like
Yeah, but that's your
normal people-
baseline. That's where
Yes,
you
that's
build your
baseline,
foundation.
correct. But like once you look at everything else, you see the possibilities, and you can see like that's achievable.
Yeah, anybody knows that's achievable, but are you going to drive like that? That's not
Sometimes.
your no.
It
no,
could-
so
varies
That's not how
on the person.
That's not. I mean, that's how you know. Yeah, there are situations where you could probably, oh, I'm going to probably get more mileage because I'm driving. I know if I'm driving to LA, I'm on freeway the entire time. I'm going to get a little bit better mileage, but that's not real day to day. You're not driving to LA every single day back and forth. You're driving a combination of city streets, a combination of freeway, highway, and that's why there
so,
are
like,
two
sometimes if-
numbers.
Right. So sometimes I'm on a road trip or whatever, and I'm like, oh look, surprise! I just got 40 miles a gallon this whole trip.
I mean, that's everybody knows. That's just like common knowledge. But you
Instead
don't
of like
use
they
that.
advertise 28 or 35 or whatever.
But no,
they
but
got
that's your
40.
baseline. You know,
Yes,
you could go a
baseline,
little.
correct.
You could go a little higher than that. That's you know you can
Yes,
based on
correct.
how you coast or whatever. But you got to use a standardized way of measuring across the entire industry. That's why you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to take this one example. This guy got 40, and I'm going to
No,
use
but
that as
I'm
my
telling
baseline."
you, it's possible.
Yeah, that's possible. Is different. I'm talking about baseline. I'm talking about baseline. When you go comparison shop, you don't go, "What's possible?" You go,
Well,
"What's the
I want to look
baseline
at
test?"
possibilities too, not just
Okay,
baseline.
I mean that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. 'Cause
I'm
you
telling
can
you, I
say,
want to know everything about a car before I buy it.
oh, then you don't know everything. Because then you could say, someone say, oh, you know what, Ray? I got 50. I got 50 to a gallon. Let's see you go get 50, and then you realize you can't go 50. What then? You're gonna feel disappointed. I mean, you
I'm
can't
not going
shop
to feel
that way.
disappointed because I know that's just a possibility that someone can achieve if they do X, Y conditions.
I mean, like your thought process is just so like just. I can't imagine going shopping with you and you're like, oh, it says 35, but I think it can probably do 40. Like that just seems so out of whack because I don't. That's like they're even the companies themselves don't advertise that. So
They don't
when you
advertise
go,
it because it's not a consistent basis.
Exact. So when you go beyond what they're trying to sell, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna hope for even better than what they advertise when they don't even claim that. Is just like a very strange way to go about like buying anything. I mean, it's like if someone told you, oh, here, take this supplement or buy this thing. You're like, oh, it can achieve even better results than what it claims. And you're like, oh, because it's always a possibility. I mean, that's just like wishful thinking. I don't. That's a very.
I mean, I believe in user data. as well. It's not just government posted or government company posted data.
No. I mean, no. So that's where your critical thinking of just like is just missing a whole step. Okay, like government EPA is a standardized model test, consistent across all automakers. They put every car through that same test model. User data is just internet people. Maybe influencers, maybe blah blah blah, but they don't even they themselves rely on government data. Even they themselves use the official figures. They don't go and claim something that the automakers themselves don't claim. Because then that's just asking friends for opinion. That's as good as just like someone's opinion. It doesn't carry weight to it. And I wouldn't go by some forum or things like that. I mean,
I know you wouldn't.
Like, no, it's not about you wouldn't. You know, it's 2026. The internet is full of generated misinformation, AI generated misinformation. And this is why they tell you, even if you get an answer from AI, you got to fact check that stuff. You got to go and dig through all of it. And just like a forum, you got to dig through all that. It's not even worth it. Just look at the manufacturer. It's not even a contest.
I mean, that's just looking at it black and white then.
No, it's not black and white.
If you're just looking at the manufacturer stuff.
But that's your baseline. That's how you make a judgment call that's fair. You don't go and say, hey, I want a cup of water, and then you go ask 10 other people, what's a cup of water?
Well,
what's the measurement
just
of
the
a
baseline
cup?
and all that, then you won't know what may be an issue down the line for your car. Because the manufacturer's not going to talk about it. Salespeople won't talk about it.
No, I'm just talking about purely, very specifically, the claims to their miles per gallon. That's it. I'm not talking about all this stuff.
Okay.
Very simple. Just their claims to their mileage. And that's where I have a problem when you pull out a number of 40 when they themselves don't even use a number that high. That's where I have a problem with, like, you don't talk to your friends, hey, buy that BMW because I think it could actually hit 40. You can't use that. That's not something that I would even like share as information. I share
that.
I mean, share
like my electric range. I told you.
But that's electric. I'm just talking about your pure gas, where they don't even claim that. They don't even claim that. I get it. You're a hybrid car. Hybrid cars, electric cars can get everybody knows that. You're going to get a lot more mileage because it has a different drivetrain system. But you're talking about just your 3 Series. You're just going to, and where you tell me you're going to get like 600 miles to your tank. I mean, unless the tank's huge, then yeah, sure, you can get 600 miles. But it doesn't even claim that. It claims just 25 to mid 30s. It doesn't, nowhere is there even a 40 or even close to 40. So that to me doesn't make sense. And that's where I have a problem, where you're claiming things that are just ridiculously.
What about blog posts from BMWs, like followers of BMWs?
No.
So you just want pure manufacturer estimates only?
When I'm talking about a car, I would go by the tech spec sheets of what the manufacturer provides, because that's what they build. Okay. That's what they engineer it for. You can't go and just like, someone could tweak their car. Someone could swap out parts. They could tune the ECU. They could do a bunch of stuff to do different performance specs. I'm just talking about out the door, factory, no modifications, what the manufacturer builds it for, not something that someone took as their own experience as data. And you just can't. If you went that way, the world would never work. Everyone would be like, oh, what's your opinion? What's your experience? Then you got to collect like everybody's individual experience and try to get data. And even that is not accurate because it's just self-reported.
I think those are all opinions people can take into account.
Well, yeah, you can, because they're opinions. You can't. That's why I had a problem when you go and you started taking it as, oh, it's possible. Because when you say something is possible like that, you're taking it as fact. That's where you can't be like, and that's where when you look at specs, you want facts. You want facts when you look at specs. You don't want the manufacturer to be like, oh, we think it's like 200 horsepower or 250 horsepower. You want to know what they tuned it for, right? You don't want to buy a product when you don't know what the specs are, especially when it comes to a car.
Well, chances are you know the car better than the salespeople.
No, okay, that's generalization again. You're probably gonna know the car you want
Yes.
better than
Yes.
what the salesperson might know. That's a possibility, but I wouldn't say that's true across the board. Granted that a salesperson, if you have the right salesperson, that's all that depends. That's a personal experience. If you have the right salesperson, they'll know. If you have a person that's just doing this as a job just to get by between jobs, yeah, they probably won't be as into the brand as an enthusiast. But that's why you got to be real careful when you, especially as you age and you get older, and this is one of those things when I learned in poli sci, was overgeneralization is one of the, I call out people for that nowadays as I get older and older, because I hate it when they use false analogies, and you can look it up when you want to learn about debate and argumentative in poli science. And one of those things is false analogies. Can't compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. Like, you can't compare apples to oranges, or you got to compare similar things. And then generalizations. And I think that's probably something you'll learn as you kind of grow older. And I think this is the nice part about having these conversations is just don't overgeneralize things. I think in day-to-day conversations, people have a tendency to take a generalization and apply it as fact across the board. And that's where I call BS on it a lot of times, because I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to know don't waste my time with your false misinformation these days. And I'm not calling you out in terms of like you're dumb. I think I'm calling you out in the sense that, hey, you can learn to be better. And in whatever circles and realms that you work or and socialize in, just like, what is it, growing up when our parents would say hearsay and claim it as fact a lot. I hated that so much. Like, they would hear something and repeat it to somebody else, and they're like, oh, it's fact, when it's like, I really hate that. As I got older and older and I realized a lot of those things were not facts and they just made it up, it shaped a part of me where I'm very critical about like specific information that I get from people. And if it's something that I don't believe or it doesn't seem true, I would question it. And I think that's where you got to be careful.
Okay, I'm just looking at the math right now on the 330i. 15.6 gallon in a tank. If we just do purely freeway, which is 34.
Okay.
530 miles in a tank.
Yeah, that's not 600. That's not 600. So you can't say 600.
That's
okay,
if baseline.
And that's if you drove it to the very last drop. And that's if you're on the freeway the entire time. So real world, dude, no.
Well,
no,
if you drive Eco Pro too.
no. Yeah, you're stretching it. So that's why I say don't say 600, man. Like, it doesn't hit 600. And that's even like your model where you drive. That's like saying, hey, I'm on the freeway, fill it all the way up. Let me drive to the very last drop. No one's going to drive to the very last drop on the freeway, because then you'll just be stranded in the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, even with your model of that, it doesn't hit 600.
Mine doesn't hit 600, but I'm just saying overall, these new BMWs, they are much more fuel efficient.
It still doesn't hit 600, man. And it's not 40, dude. It's not 40.
Okay, baseline not 40, yes, but like circumstances where people drive more efficiently.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's have them roll off a mountain, be at the top of a mountain, come all the way down, and then don't use any gas, and they just keep rolling until they run out of that momentum, and then you could go behind the car and you go push it a few miles.
I mean, I look at an article also from Car and Driver, which is pretty well known.
Yeah, but it's not gonna hit 600, man.
They hit
it's a,
in the 75-mile fuel economy test. They got 42 miles per gallon.
doing what? Driving on a freeway.
Yeah, sustained 2-hour drive freeway.
See, exactly. That's when I tell you that's an ideal environment.
Right.
Like we're not talking about that. You're not driving in the freeway. Your day to day is not driving on the freeway.
Day to day, sure, but like if you're on a road trip, then yeah, that's ideal.
Okay, that's okay. That's not your road trips are like 1% of your car's lifetime.
That's why I'm saying it's possible. If you're in those
it's not even 600. It's not 600, man. It's not 600. No one's claiming 600. You're the only person claiming 600.
Okay, go look it up on the internet then.
No, it's not. Look it up. You just did the math. I did the math.
Yeah, but other people in their circumstance can hit 600 or close to 600.
Yeah, but again, those are like some non-standard day-to-day circumstances.
Right.
You can do that.
It's still a possibility.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. I could put any car on top of a mountain. It rolls down, and it's gonna get great fuel mileage because it's going downhill. Is that how you're gonna test things? No, that's not how you're gonna test things. That's why you can't.
Yeah, you're
use
looking for a standard test to calculate everything.
Exactly.
I know that.
Real world.
I know that.
I mean, if you're talking about possibility, I could do this. I could say,
I mean, it's
hey,
EPA testing in real world conditions too.
Yeah, that's more standardized than we drove this car 2 hours, no traffic on a freeway. Remember, sustained 75 miles, no traffic. I don't think you're gonna find anywhere where you can sustain. Maybe if you're lucky on
I-5?
No, even I-5, you probably need to be on like a non-congested day, because otherwise you're not gonna sustain. I mean, you're gonna stop and go, like you're gonna hit like 75. You're gonna go drop back down to 65. You're not gonna be sustained.
495 on the way to Mammoth.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but again, these are like so think about it. When you're looking at data, you're not looking at. You can't pick specific points of data that support your argument, because then now you're just picking and choosing data. Then that's the problem that I have, is you can't pick and choose data. Because if you pick and choose data, then you can say anything is possible. You got to use the entire data range, the entire data set.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like when you pick and choose and say it's possible. I mean,
I want to know all the possibilities, not just baseline what the government says and what the manufacturer says.
Yeah, sure, you know the possibility, but are you going to achieve it on your day to day?
Not day to day, but I want to know even under those circumstances.
Yeah, okay, sure. I give you. You want to know what's possible, but that's not how you're going to go and determine.
No,
how
but
you buy
when
a car.
I did achieve that, like the 40 miles, I was like a pleasant surprise. I didn't know it was possible because the manufacturer didn't say that.
Yeah, well, of course, because you're you're sustaining momentum. You're probably drafting behind another car, whatever. There's all these other things, but that's
what I'm saying. They don't advertise it, but it was a pleasant surprise. Of course
not. I mean, I don't know. That's really a pleasant surprise. I mean, hey, Ray, let's all push your car. You are now traveling your car without gas. Is that a pleasant surprise?
Well, I got more range than I thought was expected, and when I looked it up and checked with other folks, they're like, yeah, that's part of the course. Like, you're gonna get more.
Well, they don't want you to live in that range.
Well, I understand that, but it was a pleasant surprise. I mean, I like knowing that possibility.
Well, I think the only times you want to know you have that possibility is when you're running out of gas.
What?
And that's probably when you want to know. Oh, I still have a little bit I could push before I definitely need to go get gas.
Yeah,
or something.
Yes, because you're gonna know when you should expect a gas station.
Yeah, well, I mean that's like the safeguard. I think that's why. I mean, it's like
I'm not saying
your
I don't
car can go
I'm not
a little more.
disagreeing with you on the baseline.
Yeah, but it's fine. You know the possibility, but don't claim that as the norm.
That's not the norm, but it's
because that's what you're saying to me when you said, "Oh, this car can go 600," or "This car has 40."
I'm not trying to say that.
Okay, then that's what you got to set off at the very beginning, because at the beginning you're like, Jack, all these BMWs now are mild hybrids. They get 600 a tank, 40 to a gallon. Then it's like, no, I mean, that's like BS. That's a very exceptional situation versus what the average day-to-day normal driver is going to get. That I can accept. That is fine. So that's why you got to be very careful with how you present facts. Otherwise, people would think, oh, that's normal, and then they get disappointed when they realize that's not normal.
I also took a picture in that loaner I had with that 21 tank or 21 gallon tank.
Dude, that's a huge tank. I don't get how it has a huge tank. It usually does not have.
Yeah, that
21.
one had 21 gallons or 22 gallons, and I took a picture of the mileage, or the fuel area that it says estimated until like how much range miles you have, and it said 630.
No, that's I mean 22.
Yeah.
What model has 22 as a
X5
sedan?
extra. Oh,
Dude,
so
that's a different model.
I said
You
I
said it was
the
a 3
loaner.
Series.
No, I said the loaner. The X5
Oh
loaner.
my god. Okay, yeah. If it's an X5 plug-in or whatever you have,
It was
yeah,
a mild hybrid.
that's different than the 3 Series, man.
Well,
What the heck?
The 3 Series, separate car.
Exactly.
That's
You said
something
that was a 3 Series I thing. I was like,
No,
what the heck?
the normal 3 Series nowadays can hit a pretty good mileage.
Not 600.
Okay, it's still 500.
No,
at
it's not
least.
500. You're not going to hit 500 because you're not going to drive it to the very last drop and miraculously have a gas station there.
Well, that's last drop is 530, so 500 is still giving it a good amount of leeway.
I'd say I had a BMW. I know how you can drive it. You just have to be on the freeway. That's where it performs the best. And you're pushing 450. If you want to go 500 plus, you got to be like,
just driving EcoPro.
no, it's like remember, these cars don't have, you got to remember, you have a plug-in hybrid, so you have eco mode, but the other baseline 3 Series and those things, they don't have those modes.
Let me check. I feel like they added,
They
their sport
call
mode.
it, yeah, they have sport mode, but it's not like they don't have eco mode where they switch on electric power. They don't have anything that can allow them to run on electric power. So they're still using gas. It's just a slower version. Like the rev is lower.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's the EcoPro mode where they use
But
less power.
it's not like, it's just like lower revving.
Yes, that's what they call
versus-
EcoPro.
But it's not, you don't buy a BMW to go slow.
No,
So, you don't.
but
exactly.
again, that's an option.
I mean, it's like very strange if
For
it's a BMW.
I'll say for like
uh,
up until my new engine in my car, I did drive the car in EcoPro a lot of times because I wanted to save the electric mode, so I'd have to charge less.
I mean, that makes sense because you bought a hybrid. You basically bought a fancy hybrid. Then that's kind of about it. But
So I gimped on the power, but it's still a relatively strong engine, regardless, even if it's gimped.
well,
in eco mode.
it has to be. You're hauling a freaking, what is it, 5,000?
6,000.
Dude, 6,000. That's two and a half. Is that
2.5
tons? 3 tons?
3 tons, yep.
Dude, that's
2,000
freaking
or so.
heavy ass car, man.
Yeah,
Heavy
you know,
ass car.
I wish I owned a business when I bought the car because I learned for folks that own a business and buy like a plug-in hybrid or a hybrid car with like 6,000 pound battery or greater, they can write off the tax.
Yeah, the 6,000. It's not battery. It's 6,000 like gross tonnage or
Yeah.
something. It's a weight thing.
Yeah.
Man, that's freaking. Hey, I mean, you enjoy it, so as long
Again,
as you bought it.
15-year warranty on the TZ EV parts.
Yeah, here's the kicker. It's not those parts that breaks. It's something else. I'll tell you. You can look it up. It's probably going to be the valve cover. The valve cover.
That's made of metal now, not plastic.
Or whatever it is. There's always something that leaks. That
Thankfully,
won't be covered.
I haven't read about anything leaking in these X5s.
Well, you can read all
It's-
until it happens to you, man. And then
From like the 2019 models till now, most people experience something with the water pump, I think.
Yep, it's gonna be something.
But that was early on. I got the latest iteration of the car, so a lot of those issues got fixed.
Well, they're more well, I wouldn't even say more. I'd just say it's a BMW. You know what you're gonna expect. The fact, I'll just tell you. I mean, just driving a BMW for nearly 20 years, tell you it just. Uh, I understand why people lease and they don't buy. I totally understand why.
Yeah.
Because the stupid tires are so damn expensive. And you have run flats?
Yes.
Freaking, you know how much those cost?
Total for 4 sets or 4 tires is about 12.
Wait. God damn it. I would say it actually costs, what are they, 20-inch?
19.
19? Yeah, I would say like 15, get it installed, shipping, tax, 1,500 easily. Maybe even 2,000.
Nope.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you, so, you know, the thing is, what is it? You got to change all 4?
Yeah, because I have all-wheel drive.
Yeah, you got to change all 4, and you can't even rotate and balance. You just have to change them. That's the crappy part, and that's on top of, you know, your normal expensive maintenance and repair if something were to happen that I just really, really hate. So this is why I totally understand. You never buy BMWs, or you lease them, you drive them for a few years, and then you just, you know, that's why you bought yours off of a lease. Is someone else can handle that stuff later on. Is that's the part that's painful. That's the part that really sucks. And then insurance, my God, insurance for BMWs really suck too.
For any luxury cars.
I mean, not for any luxury cars, but I would say my Lexus is pretty cheap.
What's your provider?
Progressive. I switched from Allstate to Progressive because Allstate got expensive, and this is how I learned.
I know.
It wasn't expensive before, but Allstate got a bunch of claims because of the wildfires or something, or all this, and then all of a sudden they had to increase their rates across. And then Progressive,
well,
luckily,
California in general.
Luckily, Progressive didn't get all those hits, all those disaster hits or whatever. So their rate, basically was my old Allstate rate. Allstate increased it by like 300. Progressive, no increase, basically the same as what I was paying before. And then, yeah, that's the part that hits.
Yeah, when I was checking with Allstate, they were going to charge me like double what I'm paying now.
Exactly. They, I mean, it's not just that. I think like, so that's the part that I hate about the BMW is the maintenance, the insurance, and just like the gas.
So I'm curious on my old 3 Series why I never ran into leaks.
You didn't drive it that. You got the later year model, and
I had 98K miles or 96K miles.
Yeah, so that's where people push it, and then I mean, I had 200,000 on mine.
I know.
And I got the first gen when it was first released. Even
so that's why I'm always, if I'm buying a car, I try to buy the last gen of that model as much as I can.
Yeah, I mean that always helps. But also you didn't drive it as far as I drove it through everything, up and down Los Angeles.
I know. I remember those nights you drove from LA or our house down to Disneyland.
Through a sandstorm.
Wait, what?
You know the 5 when they have those sandstorms through a.
I've never seen a sandstorm on the 5.
And then, just drove it everywhere. They drove it to Vegas, drove it everywhere back in the day.
I remember. We drove mine to your wedding.
So it was like just a lot of driving, and then it performed. I kept it well maintained, but there were always going to be leaks eventually, just because they're gasoline cars. They're just gonna, they just were built in that era of BMW where they have a lot of leaks. They're much better now. I know they're more reliable, but just normal maintenance is just
the only thing I had on my car was just I needed to replace spark plugs once and tires here and there, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean you drove it in Los Angeles, so you didn't really drive it too crazy.
No, I purposely tried not to drive crazy.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't drive it anywhere like too far or anything, so a lot more gentle.
I'm a pretty restrained driver in terms of those things, I guess.
Yeah, and so it's a little different, and then
so that's why I'm hoping my car now is going to live and have less problems because of the way I drive.
Well, I think it's just the fact that you live close to work. You don't have a crazy commute. I had like yeah, I had this
Yeah, you drove
crazy ass
from
commutes,
yeah
and I drove. I mean,
Richmond to like Santa
well,
Clara.
Santa Clara to all the way, yeah, not Richmond, but to El Cerrito, and that's why I couldn't do that forever. And just everywhere, just everywhere. I mean, it was what I had to do for a living.
I know. I remember those days. That's when you called Fat Jack. That's what we talked about last
That's
time.
right, Fat Jack got fat on those stupid working at Netflix, eating, and then commuting 2 hours each way, and then just sitting on my ass all day because just tired from commuting. Um, but yeah, those were the days. Man, that ended up being a whole discussion about other crap this week, but
Well,
it was actually very good because I really this hour I actually got to know you more than I have probably just hanging out with you, and I think that's the beauty of this is um, we're not just hanging out like having fun and just doing fun things, but we're having real talk, and I think that's the part that I enjoy the most is now I know you as a person much better in terms
yeah,
of
I
how
feel
you
like you're
think.
still somehow gonna kill me somehow or beat me up.
Well, it's that's the well, yeah, but it's in a way where I think that's the trauma that we both carry from our upbringing. Um, is just that's the way our family communicated. But over the years, I've learned to be have the same passion, but also be able to not like take it to bed and be like, oh my god, you know, and dwell on it. So that's the part that I've been able to, because the passion I can get, I understand when you care about something, you're gonna be fired up, and that part is always great. And I love people that are fired up and passionate about what they do. The downside part, and that's the part that I try to minimize, is you think when that becomes everything. So, like for example, once we finish recording, like I don't think that's who you are. That's not who you are completely. That's not going to determine my perception of who you are 100%. That's, but I learned an aspect of how you view the world, and how you function, how you process information, and that's how you learn about somebody. That's how you get to know somebody in depth, not just superficially. And that's more important to me, and that's more valuable to me than being right. Uh, Even though I am biased towards being right because I am older, and I've been at your age where I messed up so much that I know what's wrong
I
and what's
think
right.
we're both biased in trying to be right. I don't know why, but I feel like it's just our thing. Even when I talk to my wife, she says I have a thing about trying to be right a lot of times.
Yeah, because that's our upbringing. It's in our family upbringing where we see it in our family and their relationships. So like nowadays,
I try to
even
ease back so much on trying to be right, I guess.
well, like I just chill. Like if it's not gonna, and this is why I can take a step back nowadays because I know what I want to do in life, and you got your own journey where you're gonna figure out these mistakes. You're gonna go through your experiences, and you're gonna get to a point one day where you're like, and this is where I think it's super important to be reading books, learning from other people that are older and more experienced because they've done it. They've done it. Life is not that special, honestly. Like the things that you and I are doing, someone else has already done it.
Yep.
Someone else has lived through it. And if we can get the nuggets of wisdom from that person, then we don't have to make the same mistakes. But that's
Yeah.
just life in general. Like,
Yeah, I think the only thing is with learning from the folks that have done it already, is that we're in an ever-changing world that things move fast. So whatever they say before, I mean, I always apply.
Well, that's why you got to be, and this is the most important part, is you got to have that critical thinking skill and dissect what you hear and what you have to pick at that's true, what's not true, and filter through, and then take in what's valuable for yourself. And as long as you continue to learn, as long as you continue to go through that process and not just go through life blindly, you're gonna live. You're gonna be fine.
You know what I've always said in interviews for jobs before? Like I like doing certifications and stuff. So one thing I always tell interviewers back then was like, back in elementary school they have like when you get your report card or whatever, it says lifelong learning standard blah 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 section blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
always tell folks because of that I remember from those grade reports I'm like I'm subscribed to a lifelong learning standard.
What's that mean? What's
As
a
in I
lifelong
continually
learning standard?
keep learning.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I get that. I mean, it's to me, it's I call it keep it like continuous improvement. But yeah, it's the same theory. It's just like, just keep learning. We have the internet these days. There's so much information out there. We can learn a lot from just reading. And I mean, of course, don't forget to go and live life. And that's why when I see you do the things I've already done in the past, and I'm like, you're gonna regret that later. I let you regret it later.
I mean, that's the thing is I know you probably let me do that, and then my idea at the same time is how can I course correct from making it from while doing that, but avoid it from being a mistake. So like in my car, I made sure like when I was looking it up that 15-year warranty on the hybrid parts and whatever. That's one way to cover myself.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to keep, just keeping it real. Make sure. I think that's especially when it comes to a big purchase, is
I want to
you
make
don't
sure I
wanna
have
regret.
guardrails
Well, I mean, not necessarily
on things like
guardrails,
that.
but you just don't want to regret big purchases.
Right.
They're hard to. I mean, like for example, I got lucky when I bought my motorcycles. Like because of the pandemic, the motorcycle values didn't drop; they actually increased. That's the crazy world we live in, right? Is video game consoles now cost more? I was
They've
like,
got a price increase, yeah.
yeah, and like I was looking at the Steam Deck,
They got a $200 price
PlayStation,
increase
like
across
they
the
all
lineup.
increase. That never happens, right?
No.
That never happens.
No,
But
never.
AI and all this. So I sold my PlayStation 5. I sold all my video games. I mean, right now the only thing I could really play video games on is the computer I have. That's really it. But I was like, wow, I sold my PS5 basically for retail price when I bought it because the price increases, and that's unheard of. Just straight up crazy world we live in.
Well,
in terms
speaking of your
technology.
motorcycle that you bought during COVID, I went on a motorcycle ride for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I would say that's your big positive for the week. So I was very curious because when you sent me the picture, I was like, "Are you taking the licensing class or whatever?" Because otherwise, you don't usually get to just jump on a motorcycle unlicensed. So
I got lucky. I found this event last week because I was just bored at the end of my day at work, so I was just looking at things I'm interested in. And then I saw this event, and I'm like, this is a nationwide event. One free weekend from Friday to Sunday at different locations. In California, they only had 3 locations.
and you had no skill. No skill.
Zero first-time experience.
So they just in 15, 20 minutes. How did they teach you to just? Where do you go in a circle? I mean,
Yeah,
what?
so they have a course that's enough for like 5, 6 people at once.
Okay.
And there's like a waiver you sign, obviously, and each experience about 15, 20 minutes long. They have a selection of different bikes from cruisers to standard bikes. And I got on a standard bike. I didn't know what the difference is between a cruiser or a standard
Cruiser
bike.
is probably the lower one. I think cruisers are the
Yeah,
lower.
the one I looked up, it was a Honda CB300R, which
Yeah,
is
it's
still a pretty low seat height at like 31 inches. But for me,
no, Yeah,
Still not
the
that
cruiser
tall.
is going to be much lower in like the 20s.
But I got on that bike, and the coach, they told me, like, they introduced me to, like, the throttle, the handbrake,
The shift
the
with your
clutch.
foot.
And they didn't tell me about the shift or the gear near the foot, but they told me about the footrest, or the not the footrest, the bike stand.
Okay.
And then they had me, like, do a few tests with, like, here, you can throttle a little bit, see what it feels like and what that
Okay.
looks like. The brake, how I should be, like, applying the brake, and how I
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
applying the clutch if I want to cut off power to the bike with the clutch.
Yeah, you just,
How to
yeah.
brake, like, smoothly and all that. The challenging part for me, because of that bike, was walking the bike, because I was on my tippy toes for most of the time, and the
Yeah,
jeans
yeah.
I was wearing didn't help getting on the bike.
Yeah,
either.
dude, that was the tightest jeans, man.
Well-
It's like, what the hell, man? What the hell?
Those jeans I bought like 5 years ago, and I
What
was
does that
like,
even mean? You bought them 5? What does that mean?
so I was like 15, 18 pounds less.
Dude, I told you, man. What the hell? You got fat or something? What's going on, man?
It's just I got more muscles in the thigh area.
Dude, no, man. 15, you didn't get 15, 18 pounds of muscle just in your thigh area, dude.
Thigh, but you know,
No. It doesn't
but my
work
waist
like
is still
that.
the same.
No, the waist doesn't. Well, at least you were up front and you're like. Well, that's kind of weird how you even know and you remember that you had these jeans when you were 15, 18 pounds lighter.
Yeah, because I bought these when I got my other job, or my first, like, internal IT job, because we had a more relaxed dress code. I didn't have to wear, like, dress pants or slacks or
Interesting.
just regular pants. I could wear jeans
They,
to work.
were they skinny jeans or something?
No,
They
these were
looked
just like
skinny jeans.
slim, straight jeans.
Yeah, they look like skinny, like slim.
They're
well, I don't
slim
know.
jeans, not skinny jeans. I don't.
They
wear
made it
skinny.
look like you had really skinny jeans.
Well, that's because they're tighter on me on that picture I sent you. So they
Uh,
look skinny, but like in reality, they're not that skinny when I'm just standing.
Oh, I tell you, okay, I'll tell you this: the genetics in our family, the fat goes to your ass. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that your waist could. No, it's not. It's their hips.
I thought that was from football.
No, man, no, it's not from football. Look, it's something I had to figure out when I was going through designing my own program to train. Is our fat, because of our genes, go to our ass and our waist. We're pear shaped. We're pear shaped. So your waist could be small, but you're forgetting to measure your hips. That's the real measurement of whatever fat or health. So you got to remember that. And running is not going to build the kind of leg muscle that bulks.
No,
Sprinters will bulk.
Muscle.
Sprinters will bulk.
Well, we did a lot of sprinting back then.
No, not enough. Not that kind of sprinting. So that's like 15 years ago or whatever. But right now, this is why you gotta be careful. So when you're running so much, you're activating a different energy system in your body. And it's gonna make you hungry. It's gonna make you eat a lot more to replenish that energy. And that's where, when you eat whatever it is you're eating, it's storing as well as the fat straight to your ass and
Doesn't
your
help
hips.
we work office jobs.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why you gotta be careful, man. I became more aware of my body. I guess this is one thing you could take away, because I'm 10 years, but we're in the same genetics, right? We're brothers. So that's what you could take away. We're pear-shaped people, and you have to be careful. It is the hips that is going to kill you. And I learned this the hard way, and this is what I'm trying to go through and get help on, is unlocking my hips because of our genetics really suck. Fat goes to our hips. It concentrates in our hips, and then it locks up our hips range of motion.
Where would you rather the fat go to?
Just evenly. Like, I don't want it going one area. If I could, I would go make it just everywhere. Like, but it's not possible. So you got to work with what you got. So that's why I had to train really hard. Like now I could fit. I fit jeans that I wasn't even able to fit as a teenager. Um, and I don't even run. I just walk. I just walk a lot. I walk like 20,000 steps a day. And I just walk continuously instead of running. Because the thing is, you can look it up. Zone 2 cardio
Yep.
allows you to burn fat without making you feel like you need to eat. So when you're training for all your marathons, your body's gonna want to replenish that energy, and a lot of times, you're gonna end up eating a lot more, and then storing a lot of the fat instead of actually burning away the fat. So that's the misconception about running, and depending on the type of running, that you'll actually lose weight. A lot of people won't lose weight running.
I will also say folks that run a lot need to make sure they do resistance training because running makes you lose muscle.
Well, it builds a different kind of a muscle, so I wouldn't say lose muscle. It's a different kind of endurance. And also, running as long as you're active, as long as you're active is great. You still got to watch your calories, what you eat, how much you eat, and it's better than not moving. I'll tell that to anybody any day. Like if you're running, at least you're being cardio fit and more healthy than someone that just sits on their butt all day. But that's the only thing. You probably can lose those 15, 18 pounds and be. Well, I mean, I guess you fit in those jeans.
I
somehow.
fit when I'm walking with them. But it's just like if I try to bend, not bend, but like if I try to stretch in them, they're not very stretchy.
Okay, yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know it's time to go on lose some fat. I'm not saying lose muscle, but lose some fat.
The thing is, for my height, like that's a good range for me to be in.
No, don't do that. Don't use those. You just know. Let me just say, you're gonna know, because just think about it. You even said it yourself, like I don't know, 5 years ago. Was it 5 years ago or something where you were 15 pounds lighter? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could totally go back to that. Just think about it. You're only in your early 30s. I didn't really kick off my health journey until 4 years ago, and I'm in the fittest that I am ever in my life. Ever. Better than I could go kick my own teenage self's butt right now because I'm more fit than I was then. And you're in your early 30s. I would say, if you want to, you can stop being a runner and just be fit. I'm not saying stop being a runner, like hardcore running all the time, and do all the other stuff and just walk instead and get your steps in and do weight training, because that's what I do. I lift weights, I do yoga, I do cardio, I surf. I'm like super active.
I know you are. My main goal is just to stay relatively healthy. It's not to be the fittest or anything in my life. Just relatively active here and there, healthy, so I'm not dying later on.
Yeah, I mean, so as long as you got something like that, just be careful of, like, your hips are an indication of your health. So you still gotta be very careful about, that's why it's deceiving when you just look at your waist. You gotta look at your hips. That's one of the assessments. And when you have a real assessment, they don't just measure your waist; they measure hips, and that oftentimes doesn't get measured. Because in clothing, it's always waist and length.
Right.
It's not hips. And a lot of times, people have different shapes, like the Pears shape, where our hips are much wider than our waist. So that didn't really. I mean, the motorcycle picture could be the similar to the Fat Jack picture that I had on vacation.
I think you look fatter than me in that picture. Then.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, totally. Because that was like, I remember the Fat Jack years of like hitting 175 of fat. Like it wasn't 175 of being fit muscle. Right now I'm in the low teens in terms of body fat percentage. I'm fluctuating between like 12, 13, 14 right now, and I'm fitter than ever in my lifetime.
I'd be happy
So
back at 18 or 20.
what the hell?
I don't know what I'm at now, but if I want to be in a range,
18 to
mine is like
20?
18 to 20. That seems like a relatively like you don't have to do so much, but like still remain active type of range.
It's different. That's why go get a scan. Go get a scan, $50. Know exactly what your numbers are, and then work from and then determine from there what you need to work on. Yeah, go get a body scan. Just go get one. I try to get one annually so I can track my progress, because those will give you the most accurate measurements in terms of your fat and where it's concentrated at, and all that, and a whole bunch of other measurements as well. And it's super quick and easy to do. So, highly recommend getting a body scan.
Well, back on a motorcycle portion, once I got my both feet off the floor from
Yeah.
walking the bike and actually on a footrest, I was much more comfortable.
Well, yeah, I mean, you should have momentum to go, and once you have momentum to go, it's a lot easier. It's not hard. Like riding is not hard, but it's all the other stuff. Switching gears, slowing down, braking, and then easing into first gear or second gear. That's usually the hard parts.
I will say I did soft drop the bike once when I was just stopped because I lost balance because my handlebar wasn't straight when I was just stopped.
Yeah, that's when you gotta lean if you're not tall enough.
Yeah, so that wasn't something they told me about, but it just happened. So I just softly dropped it. I knew it was dropping, so I just helped it drop. And the person was just like,
Help
yeah,
it
just let it
drop.
drop.
Yeah, I mean, they know the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. Those bikes, they buy those because you can dump them,
Yeah.
and it's not too much concern. So
But it was
at least
a lot of
this was a
fun.
good
I thought.
experience.
Good experience.
I hope that means you won't actually go get licensed, because it's actually, I mean, I would say if you got nothing better to do for a weekend, yeah, you can explore it. Maybe get the license. It's like $200-300, I think. There's an academic portion to the
Yeah.
course and the test. I did it in my, what is it, 30s, early
My
30s.
same age that I am now.
Yeah, and I would say after riding a motorcycle in the area and California traffic and knowing what it is, it's just not safe being a motorcycle for a daily commute. It's just not safe in California. Like, people just don't know how to drive because they don't expect motorcycles to be around.
Right.
So that's the part where I would say, from my experience, the only reason I would get a motorcycle is maybe on the weekend.
That's my thought. Yes.
Yeah, but otherwise it's not worth it. Like, even on the weekend, I would still say it's not worth it, because I wouldn't want to spend thousands of dollars on a thing that I only use on the weekends. Especially when, I mean, unless I really am into motorcycles, but I'm not. It was just a great way to get around. And I'm not a gearhead, at least not anymore. That's not my thing. Unless motorcycles are your thing. Yeah, it's just like,
I don't know. The thing is, I never fully got to experience the motorcycle, so that's why I'm interested in it more. Even though, like, I got that brief 20 minute run through, it wasn't like one full experience, you know?
yeah, but it's not like something I mean, you go rent a moped. Feels
It's not
like
the
that.
same.
But, I mean, it's pretty similar. It just, like, you just go faster. That's it. There's
Yeah,
not
but the
much
style is
difference.
different.
It's not really that different. Yeah, changing gears is the complicated part, but they have electric motorcycles nowadays. They just
I
go.
wouldn't want those because they're
Like-
quiet, you know? People are supposed to hear you on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I mean, people don't hear you regardless, because they're in their cars. Like, they just don't hear you. But yeah, I didn't ride a motorcycle because I wanted the experience. I rode it because it was just a cheap way to get around. But it's not a cheap way to get around anymore, because a
No,
motorcycle.
because gas is cheap. Oh, not. It's expensive.
I mean, the gas is expensive, but the mileage is always good, so it kind of works out.
yeah.
But what makes it expensive is entry-level bikes and even used motorcycles.
A couple
They're
thousand.
they're more than that. They're more than that. That's why I was very lucky when I sold my motorcycle. Was I bought it, and the price, because of pandemic, stayed relatively the same. and I was like, what the hell?
I'm surprised you bought 2 bikes. Or like you had one bike and sold that, then got another bike.
They're motorcycles. You know, I'm not gonna keep them around.
I know, but I thought you would just kept
Yeah.
one the whole time. I didn't think
No,
you'd buy
I
another.
mean, I have a whole. That's why I said once I discovered surfing and it became my thing, I'm all in. Like I know when I die, I want to die on a surfboard, or per se, I want to die on a surfboard. But that's all I want to do. I just want to be on an island, and just pass away peacefully, just surfing till I can't, and that's it. Nothing else matters. That's the end game. That's the goal. It's like, and that's the thing. Once you have an end game, you know, life is simple. Life is simple. Everything is towards that goal. And I think for you, you know, like for example, you could be like, I want to start a family. That becomes your end game, right?
Yep.
And we'll wrap up in a little bit. This is like our extra long episode. But you know, you might have your end game where, and it's very common. A lot of people's end game is start a family, and then their entire persona, their entire life revolves around their family. That's their end game. Mine is just surfing. That's it. And it's a
Well,
lot
some
simpler.
folks, they can have a family, and then once their kids off to college, they resume whatever.
No,
the
I don't
original-
want to do. I don't want to wait till kids are off to college and all that. So what I mean, or you can blend it. You know, you just introduce your family to surfing.
Yeah, there's that too.
Or you come from a surfing family, but Jane's not a surfing person. I'm the only surfing person, so it doesn't work that way. So that, you know, that's the difference. Like, so, and that's why my life is so easy right now, because I know everything that I do. I try to work towards that end game. I figured it out. My meaning to life, and you know,
Well, that's good for you.
well, it's very easy. Once we'll ask you when you hit 40, you think you find your purpose, Ray?
I don't
Think
know.
you find it?
I think some people
I'm not
take a-
saying you need to answer me now. I said answer me when you're 40.
I know. I'm saying even at 40, I think some people still are still finding their ways.
Well, as long as they somehow still make a living.
Yes, I
that's
mean they'll
okay.
still have a living, but like I think even at 40, some people are still finding their ways.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, that's how I found my way in my late 30s, early 40s. Right?
Yeah.
Now I know, because I tried. But I think that's the. But all along the way, I mean, different eras of my life, I had different things I was striving towards. Always just try to be working hard towards something, even if it at that moment might not seem like the right thing for the rest of your life, but it'll lead you to a greater purpose or meaning later on, because it's part of building that repertoire, that experience, and you build on top of it. All right, that's kind of the last thought we'll end on today, and this is why it's kind of great to have it in this kind of podcast format, because it helps temper a little that of in your face screaming match that we have if we're in person, and it keeps it a little bit more kind of in check. So it's
Oh yeah, we definitely have those in your face. You
Well, yeah,
more
I
than
mean-
me a lot of times.
Yeah, you kind of have to, man, because I'm passionate, you know. I'm life, dude. It's life.
I know.
I have
I'm
that
just trying to
fire.
keep the peace.
I mean, it's not about giving peace. It's like you gotta have that fire. You gotta
I
have
know,
the
but I don't
fire
want to
about
stress
stuff.
other people in real life when they're near us. Because I know,
I mean, it's all right.
not
it's-
for others.
It doesn't. I
For
mean,
us,
that's-
sure, but others, they don't want to be
I
around
mean,
that.
if they know you, if they know who you are, and if they are truly, you know, the ones that are close or whatever, they're just gonna know your personality, and they know that you don't mean any harm. We're not killing people. We're not committing crimes. It's just people will talk very passionately, and I will take that any day over people that are just chill and nonchalant about everything. I'll take that any day. Yeah, I'll take that any day. Because then you know that person has the capacity for passion. Deep passion. Versus they're just trying to keep things status quo. and not offend people.
Well, that's the thing a
Uh,
lot today too. With a lot of people I meet, they want to keep it status quo because it's
or
very easy.
politically correct or
Yes,
whatever. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
because people they seemingly appear to get more offended easily or to get touchy.
Yeah. I mean, I not to get too deep into that, but it all comes down to better understanding of one another, so that we can drop some of these guards, and really be just like fully in the moment with somebody and build those strong connections versus setting up walls and barriers to keep the peace or whatever. It's more of like, and that's why I like the beauty of getting older and older is just as people get older, they just don't care anymore. They just don't care anymore. They don't give an f about anything. They just go for it because they once you
Yeah,
realize
that's
like
true.
this is your one life to live, and unfortunately we all realize this kind of later in life, generally later in life, versus it's a different kind of I don't give an f attitude versus the teen angst attitude. It's more of like
Right.
I want to be using my time efficiently, and I don't want to put up with BS versus I'm just gonna do this rebellious thing because I don't give a. It's a different kind of mindset shift. So I'm trying to be specific with that. So, um, I think as you age, your friend groups, your people, you'll start feeling it. You'll start realizing it, and you'll start knowing. Um, and I think as time goes on, just like friends will drop. You'll make new friends. I hope you make new friends. I make new friends every decade, every year of my life. And
I make
I
new
hope
work
you.
friends.
Well, I think you should make also new friends in life in general.
That's the part where people are trying to figure out how that works now. Because people they go home or they go to work, go home, and they hang around the same group of friends. So it's hard to find where they can meet other or create new friends.
just you'll figure it out, and maybe you won't have new friends. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. It usually happens with life changes. Work friends. That's a great way to put it. Work will. I've had like 20 plus jobs, and each job made different friends. Um, and every new hobby that I'm into, I make new friends. I have magic friends. I have surfing friends. I have friends for different hobbies and passions, and uh, different friends for different things. And you'll have the same as you age. Your social circle should be expanding. Um,
I don't
just
have
be careful.
yeah.
You don't want to pigeonhole yourself into like a narrow group, and then you guys all just echo each other. Um, it's like this.
Yeah.
You
It becomes an
don't-
echo chamber, yeah.
you want to expand and have people that challenge and push you to be a better version of yourself.
I agree.
Yeah, it's throughout life. They don't have to be in your life your whole entire life, but there are probably short periods of time that they inspire you to be a better version for however long they are in your life, and that's the important part. With friendships and different kinds of friendships that you form over the years. But we'll leave it at that. Um, I mean, I have an awesome week. I'm looking forward. I'll probably have more in the first week of June. I have a great week ahead, and I look forward to getting a lot of things done and and the weather's has changed, so I'm able to probably get out and surf a lot
It's
more
like
too.
prime surf weather coming up, right?
Yeah, because it's summer, so I can get out really early in the morning and surf. So looking forward to that, and of course, posting this extra long 2-hour episode. Pretty incredible. This is like new mark.
Yeah, my friends that commute with pretty long commutes are gonna like this at least for their commute since it's gonna be round trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's just us talking. If they enjoy us getting to know each other better and the arguments, the discussions, the laughter, all of it, Good on them. But I don't need any of that. It's just extras because I get to talk to my younger brother here, Ray. Again, we're not even using the same names we grew up with. Oh, you should tell. I sent Yuki
What?
there's a comedian that has the same name as you.
Oh yes, I know. My friend sent me the same thing.
I was like, what the hell is this person? It's hilarious.
And you know the funniest thing also is in Final Fantasy 14 when I was playing like years ago.
Okay.
In the same server, the same world, same data center, everything I'm playing in. There's this character that has literally the first name Raymond and my last name.
Like the character in the game as an NPC.
They named their character. This person created the character. They named it my full name.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So for a while,
Maybe it
people
was-
thought that was my like alternative account when I wasn't playing.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I wouldn't ever use my
No,
real
I
name
wouldn't.
or
But I'm
full
like,
name.
what the heck?
Yeah,
There's a
definitely.
lot more of my name in the world than.
Yeah, definitely.
I
I mean,
thought.
you're not the most famous, Ray.
No.
Someone else is the more famous than you, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some good stuff. Yes, unofficial plug to the Ray Lau comedian that does that's touring and doing stand up. Good on
I'm
him.
not him.
Yeah, you're not him. All right then. I'll talk to you again next week.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too.